Aside from Philippine ecosystems, we also have species. Under species, we have marine and terrestrial species. In terms of wildlife species management, new species continue to be discovered by survey teams from local and international academic and research institutes, with many more awaiting discoveries. So, more than 300 new species discovered in the Philippines during California Academy of Sciences expedition. There are also ongoing conservation efforts for some endangered and threatened species like the national birds, the Philippine eagle, Philippine kakadu, tamarao, Philippine tarsier, Philippine crocodile, and marine turtles. An example of this is the Tamarao Conservation Program that continues to regularly monitor its population in Mount Iglit, Baco National Park. Aside from species, we also have thematic areas. First, urban biodiversity. City biodiversity exposes urban residents to an environment or landscape which facilitates their appreciation on nature. So it provides opportunities for recreation, health, relaxation, and community cohesion. Urban biodiversity is a new concept in the Philippines, but some pockets of green space and landscape have been established. Through synergism between and among different sectors, these urban green spaces can be improved so urban residents can benefit from their ecosystem services and enhance human well-being. Photo 6, Las Piñas, Parañaque Critical Habitat and Ecotourism Area. A coastal urban wetland and bird sanctuary situated within the metropolis of Metro Manila, comprises two interconnected mangrove-covered islands, shallow lagoons, and coastline. An example of this urban biodiversity is we have the Ninoy Aquino Parks and Wildlife Nature Center. The 22.7-hectare Ninoy Aquino Parks and Wildlife Nature Center offers city dwellers an escape from stressful city life and a glimpse of Philippine biodiversity. The park is under the management and administration of the BMD by virtue of former President Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo's proclamation 723 on October 25, 2004. Aside from urban biodiversity, we also have agricultural biodiversity. Agro-biodiversity has been developed through the application of the knowledge and skills of farmers, herders, and fisherfolk in a wide range of agro-ecosystems. The knowledge and agricultural biodiversity it has produced is the key to global food security because of their wild relatives. We have agriculture. In 2010, agriculture contributed $5 billion to the country's GDP, slightly down by 0.5% of $29 million less than in 2009. For 2011, the agriculture sector recovered from a dismal performance due to favorable weather conditions. So all subsectors in agriculture except crops posted production increases. This is from Agriculture and Fisheries Philippine Yearbook 2011. We have the Masipag experience. The goal of Masipag is to empower resource-poor farmers and improve their quality of life by bringing back traditional varieties, improve these varieties, and minimize cost of production inputs. Some of its programs include collection, identification, maintenance, multiplication, and evaluation, breeding, like rice, corn, and livestock, soil fertility management, alternative pest management, diversified integrated farming system, farmer-developed or adopted technology, network strengthening, local processing, and marketing. In 2010, 42% of the country's total land area, 300,000 square kilometers, utilized as agricultural land. In 2010, 82.54 million metric tons of agricultural crops were harvested. We also have livestock and poultry. We have carabao production, cattle production, goat production, hog production, chicken production, and duck production. We also have fisheries. Philippine fisheries, a total of 2,157 species have already been identified in the country. There are 10 major fish species caught in the Philippine waters. Marine species are varieties of fish that abound and are caught in great quantities in marine waters. Inland fishes are varieties of fish that thrive and breed in inland waters. So we have the shellfish, such as shrimps, prawns, crabs, and mussels, also abound in Philippine waters. We also have the bangus and lodong. Cross-cutting concerns is also included in the thematic areas. We have key biodiversity areas. Conservationists fear that without immediate intervention, the Philippines hotspot is on the brink of an extinction crisis. One way of ensuring that the network of PAs adequately conserves biodiversity is through the conservation of KBAs. Management of IAS. Many of the past and present introductions are intended for food production, reforestation, horticulture, and recreation. Invasion by alien species in the Philippines is a result of one or any combination of the following factors. First, transport of organisms to a new habitat. This could be between islands or countries. Second, establishment and propagation of the alien species in the new habitat, either in natural or human-made habitats such as enclosures, lakes, reforestation areas, and gardens. And the third one, uncontrolled spread from initial population over large area, either through deliberate release or accidental escape. However, most of these reports are anecdotal and not scientifically or rigorously studied. Philippine experience in REDD+ actions. Pursuant to Executive Order 881, a REDD+ unit at the FMB was created which took the lead in integrating, coordinating, monitoring, and evaluating all REDD+ related programs, projects, investments, and activities. It also linked the REDD+ activities to the Philippine National REDD+ strategy, roadmap, and tracked the country's progress towards establishing the measurement, reporting, and verification system, benefit sharing mechanism, and the social and environmental safeguards for REDD+. One of the environmental principles states that REDD+ conserves biodiversity and maintains ecosystem functions and services. Under this principle, the following criteria were identified. First, ensure that REDD+ activities do not cause the conversion of natural forest to planted forest and other land uses. Second, ensure that land uses planning for REDD+ explicitly takes account for potential synergies and trade-offs between the multiple functions of forests and the benefits they provide, respecting local and other stakeholders' values. Third, ensure that conservation status of threatened species are improved and of non-threatened species are maintained, and promote effective management of natural habitats and watersheds. We have some major initiatives. The Philippines REDD+ 101 and Color Its Red road shows. As part of the communication and capacity building program of the PNRPS, a set of REDD+ 101 modules was developed and is now being delivered to both national and field-based practitioners by accredited organizations across the country. We also have solid waste. Under RA 9003, the LGU is responsible for collecting non-recyclable materials and special wastes, while barangay units are given the task and responsibility of collecting and segregating the biodegradable, compostable, and reusable wastes. Section 37 of RA 9003 states that no open dump shall be established and operated, nor any practice or disposal of solid waste by any person, including LGUs, which constitutes the use of open dumps for solid waste, be allowed after the effectivity of the Act, provided that within 3 years after the effectivity of the Act, every LGU shall convert its open dump into controlled dumps and that no controlled dump be allowed 5 years following the effectivity of the Act. For the major initiatives, we have the Albay Province, Philippines prohibits plastic bags. As of June 1, commercial establishments across the province of Albay are regulated to use plastic bags, styrofoam, and other synthetic materials as packaging for goods sold to the public. Located in the Bicol region on the southeastern Luzon Island, Albay is the first province in Bicol to pass an ordinance banning the use of plastic bags and other synthetic materials that are harmful to the environment. The ordinance was signed into law by Albay Governor Joey Salceda on February 21, 2011. We also have land use. Policies on land use recognize the need to protect the environment and its natural resources in view of the requirements of future generations. These are generally provided by, first, 11 Presidential Decree 705 or the Revised Forestry Code of the Philippines, and second, RA 7586 or the NIPAS Act of 1992. An example of good practice for land use, we have MGB stops black sand mining operations in Cagayan. Apari, Cagayan, Philippines. Mining firms extracting black sand in the province coastline have either been stopped or suspended indefinitely pending a review of their applications and operations, according to the MGB Engineer Mario Ancheta, MGB Director for Cagayan Valley, said that the operations of most companies extracting black sand along the northern coastlines here had been stopped since last year. And the last cross-cutting concern is gender. There are important gender issues in the matter of access to and control over natural resources and climate change-induced disasters. According to the PDP 2011-2016, the deteriorated state of the country's environment and natural resources is felt mostly by the poor who depend on such resources for their livelihood and are likely vulnerable to the unfavorable consequences of resource degradation and depletion. Climate change and risk from natural disasters only amplify the association between poverty and environmental degradation. The most vulnerable sectors are women, men, and children of poor and marginalized households and communities that depend on natural or ecological resources for their human development needs and security. They are involved in farming, fisheries, and forestry-based activities, and livelihoods. That is all about Chapter 1, Philippine Biodiversity, Overview of Status and Trends. Thank you so much for listening.